Good morning, Thursday morning, night after the live before, so thanks everybody for coming along. I'm heading up to Leslie's garden now, so Steve's here, so we can have a look at Steve's garden. But it's not only just me here this morning, I've got a little follower as well who's run ahead. There he is there, running away. Kyle! Move your hand! So
the big ones even are whacking me.
so we're in Steve's here at the minute, and Kyle's getting a job, haven't you?
To wait for my coke to be flat.
You're waiting for your coke to be flat, but he's picking all the weeds out from the glads here. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the garden. I'll show you beforehand, and I'll show you after what it's at now. So a few months back, I showed you the garden when it was just being planted out. So, and I went through and showed you all of the, obviously painting a lot of things black, the black backgrounds that go with the colours and stuff like that. So when the colours do come out, it just pings and just pops. But here's what it looks like now. Yeah, we did get a sneak peek last week when I had a look over the top, but as you can see in the garden now, and I'm going to give you a good look around from bottom here at the entrance all the way to what's hiding at the back there as well. And here we have the colour. So coming at the back here, there's so many different varieties, and the colours on them are absolutely phenomenal. So even just looking back, it's a field of dahlias. I've got my own little holes of heading here, just around the corner from where I live. So you can see the reason why it's called Dahlia Steve. And like I say, these are just 8 foot by 8 foot beds. And there's 9 plants in the bed in itself, the same size as the beds that Leslie's got in her garden. And just two stakes at each end with some netting just for them to grow through, keeps them upright. Because the plants are so big this year, he's had to strengthen up the bars, but the plants are nearly the same height as me. Absolutely lovely. There's lovely colours. You've got the reds, you've got dark reds, different varieties. You've got the cactus, you've got all sorts of different ones, and there's just flowers for days. When it comes to the plants being this tall and ready for picking, it's just a case of deadheading them as well. These are tiny. Look at these little balls here. Absolutely lovely. But when you look at the colours for the, like say, painting the back fences black and everything, the colours just pop against them. And I know that this one here, I remember from last year, it's called Spanish Dancer, and that's the kind of colour that I want for me field of fire. But there's just so many different varieties here, tall, big, small. It's just a variety of colour, and it's absolutely fantastic. And we're only halfway through looking at all of these as well. They've got different sizes. Look at the size of these ones. Got the big decorative ones. This looks like a firework, that, doesn't it? Field of fireworks. Not only that, but down the side here on the walkway, we've got glads. Like I say, same height as me as well. We've just been discussing with these glads. They're lovely. They have a lovely plant, lovely flower, but you need to pick them when they're like this, when the bottoms are open, because by the time you get to the top, these flowers at the bottom have already died off, which is a shame. But same thing again, they're just supported at the bottom with some netting. It's just minimalistic. It keeps things nice and easy. He's got bees running after him as well for the flowers. he's picking some flowers for me, Grandma. I'm going to take some down for Grandma Maureen. But yeah, there's just so many different varieties here as well. What's this one, Steve?
Spanish dance.
That's not Spanish dancer.
Called lacrosse.
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 Lacrosse. That's a bonny one as well, isn't it?
This one here, Edinburgh.
I like that one.
You don't often get long stalks.
You didn't, not on them ones, because that's one of the first dahlias that I grew, because I got the dahlia from Wilco's, and that's how I remembered it. But them tiny little poms, are they normally that small?
Yeah, but they're the smallest you can get.
As you can tell, I've never seen dahlias that small before, for dahlia heads.
They're the real pom. It's pom-pom.
Pom-poms.
Not pom-pom.
Pon-pon.
Pom-pom.
Pom-pon. P-O-M-P-O-N. Never think of putting them all in the same, or do you like mixing them all up?
See these yellow cactus, the stalks are like trees.
Look at that. That's absolutely huge. And basically what he does is when he sees the leaves yellowing, he uses Epsom salts. Feed the ground, feed the plant, see what the plant needs, give it what it needs, and like I say, you can't go wrong. And just, I'm going to step back here and lift these up, and you can just see the whole garden. So just looking from the top here, you can see, I mean, you can't normally sit down in the back here. You can't really see past the first bed, but if I raise these all up, you should be able to see there the whole garden, and it's like walking through a new jungle. Like walking through a jungle of flowers, and it's an absolute delight coming up here. And you can see the reason as to why he's won by the best in bloom a few years running. And if you put it in for it again, I can tell you probably do it again. But it just keeps everything. Everything's minimalistic.
That's the smallest dahlia you get.
There's my finger. There's the shape and everything on it. It's lovely. See, that's perfect for picking. And I mean, you've picked about 10 or 11, not even that, 10 11 flowers here. You can't even notice it. Because the next lot are ready to come. The next lot are on their way. But you need to make sure you keep an eye on and deadhead. And as you can imagine, you can spend a whole day down here deadheading. But that's the least of your worries when it comes down to gardening. It's just to have to come down a deadhead. But it's even in the front of the garden here. We've got lobelias went mad this year. Geraniums are huge. Cut the geranium flowers off so it promotes more growth as well. You can't even tell the compost bin's down this side. Leslie actually took some stuff from this compost bin last year, and look, let's see, it's got flowers and everything. took stuff from the compost bin, planted in our garden, and they've come back lovely. But aye, it's an absolute delight coming down and just viewing all this and seeing it all as well in person. So even just having a walk up the main path here, like I say, it does make a massive difference with the black. Even just the weed membrane on the side of the fence, it doesn't look much in the winter times, but obviously looks tidy. But other than that, when the flowers are against them, they just, like I say, they just pop, just like that there. We're going to go and see the green log. Come on, go see the green log. So at the top of the garden, we've got his polytunnel. Inside the polytunnel is his cucumbers and also his tomatoes that I got him. So tomatoes, what he's done is he's taken the bottom leaves off for airflow and air circulation to get in between the fruits. And as you can see, he's got some really nice fruits on here, really nice size fruits all the way at the bottom here. And he's already had loads of tomatoes off this plant here already. And it's still growing. The stems are really thick as well. So he's done a cracking job with them. He's got some cauliflower, all year round cauliflower in, which he started off. So that'll come next, obviously in a few more months' time. We seem to have a dahlia that's fallen over here. I don't want that to be damaged, so I'll just stick that back up there. So, moving on, we've got the cucumber. So the cucumber here is called Beth Alpha. That is the variety, and he's already had about 14 cucumbers off this, and it's one of the ones that I give him. And the one that Grandad Dave was called the Italian cucumber, and he's had like I say, loads and loads of cucumbers. There's a big one there already, and there's still absolutely a ton of cucumbers still growing on this, and this is just one plant. So there's 2, there's 3, there's 4 there, and there's loads of side shoots as well. So, and there's another couple down here, 5, 6, absolutely loads. And as we're discussing, it just goes to show you don't have to have 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 plants. If you have one plant that produces loads of fruit, then like I say, it's taking less space up by just having one plant rather than 6 or 7. So it just goes to show there that you see, you don't have to have loads. It's quality over quantity at some points. But he's over the moon with that. I'm getting some more seed. They were from Thompson seeds, and I think we've got them from Wilco's, to be honest. I'm not too sure, but the name of them were Beth Alpha. And I have also brought them down some Thunder Mountain Longhorn chilies as well, so you can have some of them. But let's have a look outside because it's really warm in here today. Which at the back here normally has cucumbers and collies and all that, brassicas and stuff put in. Got some red cabbage just sprouted up there. At the back we've got some rhubarb, little rhubarb. I think he's only had this in a couple of a year. I think it's a year he's had this in, but there's plenty of little stalks off there. These fruit bushes that he stole from Leslie's plot. There's no fruit on them from what I can see. Man himself there. Well, I'll come down now because I'm going to record as well. But he's got fruit, more fruit at the back, raspberries. There's a nice raspberry on there. But back's a sort of a work in progress. He's got potatoes in the bottom here. These cabbages are really good as well. These have been just left open as well. Topple 10. And spray over the top, keeps them clean from the cabbage white butterflies. But like you say, they're ready to be picked now. Not for sure or anything, and they're really, really good in here. So that was really great. Well, there's me handful, which I'm going to take down for Grandma Maureen. Kale's playing there with a bit of scrap wood and a hammer, as little boys normally do. But thank you very much, Steve, for letting us have a look around. Thanks very much for the flowers.
There's 50 different varieties, Billy.
Absolutely, there's absolutely loads, and I can't wait to get mine put in for next year. I'll take you over and I'll show you the difference between Steve's and Leslie's, and you can see the reason as to why Carl's called Dahlia Steve. But again, thanks very much, Steve.
Cheers, man.
So back in Leslie's, and the scene showed you last week. Here's pretty much what Leslie's look like at the moment. These are what we'll put in a bit later. But as you can see the difference. She's got the same amount plants in this bed than Steve has in his, and her flowers are just starting to come up now as well. She's got a lovely red one there, that's called Valentine, which is Steve has over in his as well. But yeah, she's going, the plan is she's going to have a couple here and a couple there. Yeah, that's Kyle, I've already showed everybody them ones. Do you want Dad to keep a hold of it, I suppose, do you? Right in here, but I thought that's the reason why I brought it over. You're not daft, are you? But like I say, you can put another lot in here, and like I say, she's going to have some this plant here, this tree is a flamingo tree, and she wanted that specifically in here because she liked the look of it. And she's also got a rose tree there as well, so, and it's actually starting to get roses on, which is nice to see, because that was just sitting on the outside. People were saying last week the sweet corn, really take the sides off. So take the side shoots off, which I will tell Leslie, and I'll make it her decision whether she wants to keep them on or take them off. And then the plants that she took outside of the compost bin from Steve's were these. And when they were blossoming, they were absolutely beautiful, and they will come back again next year and possibly in the year after. But they're absolutely fantastic plants, and them I think they're 20-litre pots. She's actually got to put some soil in here, and she was going to put some strawberries in this little hanger there, which is made herself. But like I say, it's just it's getting on. It's getting time to come down and get sorted. This shed all needs to be supported again underneath because it's moving. But look at that! Look at the hanging basket. She's done a better job for her first year in a hanging basket than I did on mine, and that's the reason why I want to do begonias next year in baskets rather than the Sophinias and the petunias, because I think that just looks a lot better for me. But yeah, like I say, it's coming along, keeping on top of it, and at least she's getting something out of it this year, and them love lies bleeding are absolutely beautiful. Right, that's us sorted. Kyle's away climbing. Young boys, young boys. Right, I'm going to head away now. I'm going to deliver some flowers down to my grandma's and say hello. So I'll catch you all next time, basically. Right, Friday afternoon, I am down the plot. I've just spent a little time sorting out the bottom of the garden where the marrows are, the first ones I put in. They're Lee Herriton seed. Let's spin you around and show you what I've managed to get done. I've had to stop because my back's hurting, so like I say, little enough, and so I've done a little bit here, and I can actually see a plant now. So as you can see, this is pretty much before. Doesn't take too much to pull these out because it's just all surface weed. But what I've managed to get done is I've managed to get that marrow freed up. I've managed to get this bed all de-weeded, this bed de-weeded, and now we can see where the end is now as well, which is great. I've covered that over with soil, but I've also checked out how my marrow's getting on. So So as you can see, this one here, it's an alright size. It's got a fat rear end, but I've just left that. I'm going to stick that to one side so you can actually see. So there you go. It's not too bad, not too small. I just hope this actually bulks up a bit. I've got one there. I've also got one on the side vine here as well as a backup. I like the look of that one better, straighter. But also I've got all this to tidy up. I'm not doing it today, but I normally like having these plants, the fruit set about 6 foot out. It's only about 3 foot away from the plant there. So I've got another one here, which it's not as big as that one. I actually need to move. I need to take that one away so it doesn't cause any problems. But yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of marrows anyways. We'll see what becomes of them. And I've got that section to tidy up, and I've got that bit to tidy up, but I can do that next week. Let's have a look at the other marrows and see how they're getting on. Not very well, to be honest, but let's have a look and see what they're getting on. I'm mega disappointed this year with the way these have reacted in this bed. I've manured it, I covered it over, and the plants were fantastic. And they're not as big as they should be. This plant here is starting to push on now, but I'm not going to get nothing off it for the shows, so it's going to get left. This one here is exactly the same. It's like it's taking a little bit of time to get caught up, and then I don't know. But this one here looks like we have one which is doing better than the other, so I'm going to take this one off. In fact, that's gone. It's gone soft. So I'm going to get the knife and I'm going to take that one off, and then we've got the main one here. So there's another one there which I can use. And then we've got the other plant in the corner here, which is bigger than what it was the last time round. And I've got a marrow set there. But again, just have to see how it gets on. And the one in the manure bed, probably the best one of them all. It's flying, it's away, look at that. I have to put this across here actually. Take this one out. Let that one go. But it looks like we've got a marrow on here, which is there. It's not the greatest places, so I'll have to organise and sort that out. But marrows has not been a good year for marrows for me, even though the plants were fantastic. Never mind. One thing I have spotted though are the glads. So I've got a few glads which I can take home. So before I leave the day, I'll get them snipped and I'll get a handful and I'll show you how they're getting on. I'll show you not how they're getting on, but I'll show you what they're like as a bouquet. I've also got my dahlias at the bottom there, which should be ready for picking as well. But at the minute, I'm going to go and check on the cucumbers, and I'm going to get everything a feed that needs a feed. I've already sprayed the garden with diamond for the horsetail, and I'm going to do a few pickings of the tomatoes because I've got another load of tomatoes to pick as well. So I'm just going to get cracked on here. Okay, that's everything watered and everything fed, and I've just actually caught the rain, to be honest, because it's just started raining here. I've just been measuring the cucumbers because I just want to see where I am now for the following years. Now, this one is yellowing. It is pretty much finished. I'll probably take this to like Beamish or something like that. But it is 29 inches straight across from the top to the bottom, and around it's currently 15.5 inches for girth, the thickest part. Now, this one here, which is the biggest one I've got, and it's still growing, it's 16.5 inches round at the top here, and it's 29.5 inches to the bottom, and there's still a little bit more room to grow as well. So hopefully this one should do rather well when we take it to the shows, but time will tell. But just a note for myself, that's where I am at this time of the year. If anything, this year I am really proud with the cucumbers themselves, because I haven't, to be honest, I think they're all just going to be for heavy, because I don't have any particular that look like they're good for long. But what I say, I'll see what I get. But I am impressed with the way these have developed and grown over the past year with little help, basically. I just need to keep an eye on the watering now. Right, I've got me scissors. I'm going to go run outside. I'm going to get some of the glads, get some dahlias, get a bunch of flowers to take home, and then I'll be heading off home. There we go. Plenty of flowers to take home, cut flowers, The colours on these glads are absolutely fantastic. Got a few Dahlias to take there as well. I'm not good at putting flat bouquets together, but I've got sort of, like I say, the glads are lovely. Some of them actually doubled up as well. So there's actually got 2 lots of flower spikes coming up from the one plant, which is absolutely great. Right, time to head home and see what I got in the shed. Sorry, not shed, the greenhouse, and then I'll be signing off. Right, back home, and as you can see in the greenhouse here, I've got a few plants in here which need a drink, but it was the chilies and things at the back that I wanted to show you. Now at the back here, I've got the ricotta chilies. I know I've showed you these in the past, I think maybe last week. Still no fruit on them, but the plants are alright, they're a good size. There's just no fruit at the minute, so we'll have to see what happens with them. Might have to put them under the light, I don't know, it depends on what happens. But these here are the Thunder Mountain Longhorn, and as you can see, got different ones. Look at this one, it's all over, it's spiraled, but then you get some of them, but then you get some like that. So that's probably the longest one that I've got here. It's I'm going to hazard a guess to say probably about 10 inches, 12 inches, something like that. But it is a long one. But I've got another couple here as well. There's some, and these are good, just grown in 5 litre pots as well, mind. So it's all what ifs, isn't it? It's all what ifs. But I've got that one. There's another one there. But I'll be saving seed for these for next year as well. Let's see, it's a nice one as well. And on the right hand side here, I've got some Naga Fire chilies, which we do have some chilies on there, so I'll be giving them to a couple of friends of mine who do really like their chilies. And we've got some habaneros as well, which are just starting to form with the flowers, so I might give these a drink, a feed, should I say. We should get something off them. Look at that little blighter. You're not getting me, Naga Fires. See you later. This was tomato that I put in. It was Tumbling Tom. As you can see, I'm getting some tomatoes on the top there. It needs to be potted up. That's only side shoot of another tomato. I don't know what it is. On this side here, I've got these were the Goldwyn tomatoes, which I should have potted up a long time ago, but obviously just due to neglect. I've got some problems with a couple of them, but I've got a couple of tomatoes in any case. But yeah, that's what's happening at home in the greenhouse. Yeah, so it's a nice short and sweet one this week. I tell you what, I'm very impressed with Steve's garden. It's always an absolute pleasure to go around, and I do thank you again, Steve, for letting me have a look into your garden as well when the flowers are blooming. That will happen, that'll bloom through until October time, possibly November time. Just he's going to continue deadheading and things like that as well. So we'll see what that's like in a couple of months. Might be able to go back down and see them after. But once again, thanks again, Steve, for that. Well, this is me now finished. I've got 2 days at work, and then I'm off for 2 days, in for 3, then I'm off for 6. Can't wait. My spell for his cover is coming to, it's not coming to an end, but the longevity of it is, and I've got some holiday booked in, and it's like I say, September is showtime. Can't wait. So thanks again for watching. Thanks for subscribers, over 3,800 just now as well today from what I've seen. So welcome to all the new subscribers. Again, I've got a back catalogue of nearly 4 years worth of videos, so please feel free to head back and see where I was previous years. I was in a better place previous years. Ideally, if you want to look into the run-up for the shows, you can look at 2019, so end of August 2019. But I'm going to get this video edited, and I'm going to see you all 9 o'clock on Sunday, should I say. See you then.